Alright, for this portion of the video, we're going to do a little mini introduction to CSS. What I'm going to show you is how a few little changes can make a big difference on how our web page looks. So, when we were editing on the HTML side of our Mozilla Thimble example, we can see on the preview side that there are some differences between appearances of all the different elements. So for example, this header over here is bigger than the text in the paragraph. That the text that's in between the EM tag over here makes the text inside of it, my cool website, italicized. Same thing over here. The well, let me just tell you, that happens to be in between the strong tags, makes our text over here bold. So something that you can do is customize how different elements and different tags look. And one way that we can change the styles of these elements and tags according to what they are is by using CSS. So what's CSS? I'm going to have you guys click over here real quick. There we go, style.css. So what is CSS? CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. And what it does is it lets us style our web page in an organized way. I'm not going to go over all of the materials or terms about CSS right now, but I will later. CSS is a huge language, but what I'm going to show you guys is a few simple design elements and a few simple design tricks to make a huge difference on your website. So to help this go smoothly, I'm going to ask you guys to focus on what I'm doing and waiting for instructions before changing your code too much. Try not to touch things that we haven't talked about. All right? So first section that I'm going to talk about is background color. So first things first, let's focus on this section here that begins with the word body. So inside these curly braces, we'll see all of these properties and parameters within our body, right? So these are different types of styles of our body element. And what you need to know is the body is pretty much this entire page. And you'll see when I click on the word body that this little blue border appears, encircling what is considered part of the body. So here are some parameters. Parameters are things that we can change and style on our page. And then over here we have the value, right? So in code, values can be colors and numbers. They can be fonts, and the parameters are the things that define it. So let's say I can want to change the type of font over here in the paragraph. What I could do is I can change the font family, meaning the parameter in my body, and then change the name of the font over here, the value of the font. So first things first, I'm going to show you guys about how to adjust some color. So on line 6, we'll see the parameter background color underneath body, and right now it's set to white. So something that we're going to learn more as we deal with color is that there's different ways to call color in our CSS. We can use words and we can use numbers. Right now we're going to work with words because I think it's a really simple and quick way to get some changes happening. So let's see, white. Maybe I don't want white for my super cool website. Maybe I want something like yellow. Ooh, there you go. And by doing that, you can see the whole background is now yellow. Pretty cool. Something else that I can do is change it to something else. Let's see, maybe we want to try out red. Oh boy, maybe I want to try this pale violet red. Did you notice, by the way, that Mozilla Thimble gives us all these options right below? So I just started typing the word blue and it gives me all these options to pick up. Like I can pick not just blue, I can pick light blue. Ooh, maybe I'll keep that. I kind of like it. Alright, so something to note is that not all colors are an option by typing in the name. For example, some people consider violet isn't what another person considers as violet. So when picking a color this way, try to use a color that's available on the list, meaning when I started typing, you'll notice that colors are appearing. Just try to stick to these colors. I'll show you guys how to get real specific colors later using a different type of hex value and maybe some RGB. So we'll get to that later. Don't you worry. So something that's really important as we're writing our code is to remember the semicolon. So just like in HTML, we don't want to forget the opening and closing tag. For CSS, we don't want to forget the semicolon. So I'm going to show you what happens. When I forget a semicolon, my code will break. As you'll see, my background color is no longer yellow. The fonts over here changed. It gets a little messy. So it's really important that we put the semicolon. Something else that you'll also notice is that usually they'll give you a hint that you've made a mistake somewhere, because if you'll notice, the font family parameter is now white, while the rest of them are purple, and that's not normal. So let me put that semicolon back. And now we can see that there's nice clean order. We can see the semicolon, the background color is now this light yellow that I wanted. It's looking good.